Maido. Hey there, Japan fans. Today's show, we are focusing on tech talkers. Present, Master Shimasho. This is the 8th year of the Presentation Japan series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata Present no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni Suru no wa Yamimashou. And my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 408, and today we're talking about tech talkers need help in Japan. It's been a little while since I attended a highly technical talk by serious experts. Like me, the audience were not so expert, so the two speakers knew they were addressing the great unwashed. Complex topics call for special handling. Piling a lot of data onto one slide is a no-no. But that didn't stop our intrepid geeky speakers. One of them, a retired professor, you would think would be better at this stuff given he was teaching this at a university. Perhaps I'm too optimistic about academics in technical specialities having actual teaching abilities compared to their real passion, research. Most of the slides were terrible. There was one slide in particular which showed a key timeline and included important projections into the future. It looked amazing, although I still wonder what it said. It had such tiny font and a myriad of colors. Audience members like me had zero ability to decipher the actual content. This was a very vital slide, actually, given the future implications of the technology they were speaking about. So, folks, the simple lesson here is carefully consider how to present information on screen. If it's too complex, then use handouts so the attendees can at least grasp what is going on. If you're going to show difficult content on screen, then make the fonts large and the slide itself very simple to understand. Also, please cut back on the craziness of the color palette. I was sitting there thinking that horizontal timeline could have been magically magnified on the next slide to show important turning points in the continuum. This is like a blow-up of a part of the timeline, and the rest of the sequence becomes wallpaper in the background. The key components are magnified on screen for easy digestion. Or they could have just picked up different sections of the timeline and made them much larger on separate slides. Now, none of this is complex. These were seriously well-educated, intelligent people giving this presentation. So there is no doubt that this is not beyond them. But if you don't get it, then you don't get it. The subject is absolutely topical and sexy, yet the talk was very dry. Like a lot of technical people, they get captured by the tech aspects. This may be fine if this was a presentation to scientists or specialists in this area, but we, the punters present, were very ignorant of the finer points. In this case, a different approach needs to be taken. Find out more. You come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese, we do them in English, we do them in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. The show today is being brought to you by, on the 5th of December, we'll be doing our 3-day Dale Carnegie course. Also, on the 5th and 6th of December, we're doing high-impact presentations in English. Actually, I'm teaching that one, so look forward to that. And in February, 22nd, 23rd of February, will be Japanese version of high-impact presentations. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro television show. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Murin suru wa yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. The visuals need to be very much more simplified. The key points have to be kept very clear and accessible. Analogies are a wonderful tool for taking complex, difficult subjects and making them clearer. Analogy takes 2 unrelated ideas and then combines them together to illuminate the key point being made. For example, strategic plans are like gelato. Here we start with a puzzling statement of the analogy. In this case, there is no necessary connection between ice cream and business planning. Next, we explain the connection. In the same way that we are presented with many gelato flavors and have a wide range of possibilities, we won't know which one is the best choice until we start eating it. In the same way, a strategic plan can appear to be comprehensive and on point, except we won't actually know if it works or not until we execute it. 2 items compared to help illuminate the key point. The other key tool our speakers failed to utilize was storytelling. We got stuck at the theoretical and technical level during this talk, and there was no elevation of the key points through telling stories. This particular area of science is brimming with stories about the scientists involved, the breakthroughs, the triumphs, the failures, etc. We didn't hear about any of that, and there was no flesh on the bones of the bare science. If we think about how these similar, complex, technical subjects are treated in the world of movies and television dramas, there is always a rich tapestry of progress being presented. It is always skillfully stitched together by the stories of the key players involved. That talk I heard was only yesterday, but right now, I can't recall the name of one of the key people who contributed to this rise of the technology, and I certainly have no stories to coalesce all the information together. This is the key. Stories are like glue. They help us to connect complex topics over an extended period of time by creating a story about who was involved, what they did, where they did it, when they did it, and what happened. The drama grabs our interest and keeps our attention. No stories meant it was very hard for them to connect with their non-technical audience, and even much harder to get them to recall the key messages. Hammering the listeners with facts and detail doesn't ensure the message will get through. Right now, I can't recall any of the statistics they shared. If some key numbers have been wrapped up in a story, there's a much greater possibility I would be able to remember what they were saying. So, for technical presenters, absolutely take a lot of care in creating stories we can all recall later. Ensure that what is presented visually is simplified so that we can easily absorb the key points. Analogies are a great tool for explaining complex subjects and should be included in the technical speaker toolbox. Having an amazing brain and decades of complex research experience is no help if you cannot engage your audience and convey your messages effectively. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.